To be fair, what I did is I made little pieces of paper with everybody in the group with your names on them, and I have them here. So what I thought I would do is just pull a name, and then when I come to you, you can tell me which of those options you want me to focus on for you. Would you like me to pull some tarot cards on a particular topic? Would you like me to connect with your spirit? Would you like me to connect with a friend or relative in heaven? And for this experience, you'll tell me who you want to talk to, because then we can just go directly to that person. Um, or you can ask any random question. I do ask that for any family and friends that you would like to connect with in heaven, that you send them a little prayer and you invite them to join us today. For those of you that want to talk to your own higher self or your own spirit, I would say to send out a little prayer inviting your soul to take more dominance in your body and allow your human self to kind of relax while your spirit shares the information that you might be seeking from him or her. And then if you want me to throw the tarot cards, this is where I suggest you invite your guardian angels, because your guardian angels are going to be the energies that I get a lot of the information from for your tarot card spread. I know everybody probably has tarot cards or they use them. I don't read them according to what they mean in the book. I really leave that information up to your guides or your relatives in heaven. So if we're going to do tarot cards for you today, and I show you the card that I chose for you, or the card that came out for you, and you Google it, it might be different information than the information that I am sharing with you. So that's also good information. It's just that I'm going to allow your spirit to make it applicable to the exact experience that you are going through. So I would like take maybe just about 30 seconds or a minute and just give everybody a chance to kind of settle themselves and invite the energies that you need to participate in our time together today. And I am going to do the same thing and kind of close off our circle and be open to your friends and family. And so I'm going to do that now while we all do that together. So you can do that personally in your own self. Okay, so let me see who we are going to speak with first. And even if I know you, because I know you guys, but even if I know you and I remember you, I won't remember our sessions and the things you think I know about your life. I may not know when I'm connecting in spirit. All my human knowledge kind of leaves my brain and I'm just kind of listening to that. So if you think I know it, I might not at this moment. So I just want to make you aware of that. So let me see. The first person I'll connect with today is Joanne. Joanne. So Joanne should be the only one not on mute. Joanne, how can I help you today?
So I'm just trying to find some peace and connect with my mom. Before she passed, there was something that she had asked of me to do, and I did not do that at the time that she had asked me. I did it later. And I guess I'm just trying to get peace with that with her.
Okay, what's your mom's name?
Margaret, but we called her Peggy.
Okay, so let me give Peggy a moment and see if she'll connect with me. Hold on one second while I do that. Can I ask if September, October, or November is a connection for anyone in your family for a birthday, an anniversary, or a celebration of some kind in one of those months, September, October, November?
We have birthday.
And whose is that?
That would be my granddaughter.
Okay, that's fine. Yep, that's okay. I just need 1 month. I just need to make sure it's not like a third cousin on that person. So it has to be close enough to you. So grandkids are kind of close. So that's good. When I connect with who I believe your mom is, the lady that did connect here, um, I feel kind of dizzy in my brain. So this is sometimes connected to like high levels of medication at the time they passed, or unconscious or sleeping, stroke, Alzheimer's, aneurysms, things like that. It's all kind of related here. I just feel like I can't get my own brain. Would that make sense for your mom?
Yes, that does. She had a stroke and she couldn't communicate.
Okay. And then she wants me to tell you, like, you should see her walking right now. Like, you would be floored if you could see her walking and getting up and sitting down and getting up and sitting down. So I'm not talking about a couple weeks before somebody passes. Most people, a few weeks before, a couple weeks before, they're not mobile, they're not getting around anyway. It doesn't mean that they had difficulty with it. So this would be prior to that. Did your mom have some difficulty? Because she's making a really big deal about being mobile.
So she did have difficulty, and she was using a walker to get around just for safety purposes. And she had fallen a few times. So
Okay.
you know, she had a life alert and stuff like that. So yeah, she did have mobility issues
Okay.
with walking.
So your mom is present, then that helps me understand that she is present with us. And is your dad over there along with your mom?
Yes.
And he was in the military or police or fireman. What was he connected to, or was anybody connected to him, like his dad, brothers, or children? That would also give me that same level of pride for
No,
that type of career.
not the military or any kind of service like
And what
that.
about your grandfather on your mom's side?
No.
Hmm. Okay, so we're gonna hold on to the military
My
man.
mom did have a brother.
Who was in the military?
He was in the military and also a fireman.
Oh, that might be the man. Let me give him a minute. I don't know if he's trying to tell me he had a raspy voice or like a deep voice, or like he spoke like that, like really deep, or he had a problem with his throat, like a throat cancer, or he couldn't breathe, like it locked up, or a allergy. But I really feel like the first thing I want to do is go, like low.
So he did commit suicide
Okay.
by hanging.
Okay, that's him. So this is your uncle who is also with your mom. So he's in heaven, and now I can ask either one of them. And you knew him in a previous lifetime. Was he your godfather?
No, that was my mom's brother. Would be
This the
my uncle.
man that hung himself is your uncle,
Yes.
but not your godfather.
Not my godfather, no.
Is he your favorite uncle, or was he, or you didn't know him?
No, I knew him very well. Yes.
Well, he has a special thing for you. Like he has a special, like, I know you have cousins and everything, but out of all of them, you're the one on the pedestal. So is that true? Like, if I said that in front of your family, I don't feel like anybody would be surprised if you're deemed the favorite niece.
It never came across that way.
Okay.
But he played a very significant part in before my mother had passed, with the way that he passed away, and that was very traumatic for my mom. So I don't
Okay.
know if I don't know if he's trying to
Apologize or acknowledge. I think he's acknowledging. He does have a special focus on you. And if that is because your mom went through a lot, that's fine. When I asked your mom, and I don't know what you said you would do that you didn't do till later, but your mom doesn't even resonate with an apology because she doesn't think you owe one. Like, so you might be thinking it's, oh, I can't believe I didn't do that. But your mom doesn't think that there's any, like, why are you apologizing, is the way that she responds to the question. So if you need the words, she forgives you, she can tell you that, but that's not how she feels. Like, she feels like you did everything for her. Like, how much more could you have possibly done, is what she makes me feel. Like, you gave and you gave and you gave and you did and you did and you, were you the only one doing it?
no, my sister was a big part of
Okay,
helping.
so there is just, there's a lot of gratitude there. So I can ask her specifically if you want to share the specific thing, but she doesn't respond as you needing to apologize and or
So
anything.
so it just and it's something that just sits with me all the time. So she was in the hospital and she called
Mhm.
me up like in the middle of the night at like 11:30 at night. And she really couldn't talk after she had the stroke, but her words were very clear to me and she just kept begging me to come pick her up and bring her home. And that just is something that just sits with me that I'm very sad about. That she did go through that and wanted me to do that for her. And I just feel like, and I always did everything for her and always went
She
by her
said.
word. And so I feel
Mhm.
like I let her down with that.
Well, I have a little bit of a different explanation. Did your mom die within 5 days of that phone call?
No, probably about a month.
A month after?
Hmm.
Huh. Well, let me explain the vision that I had. I don't think she was talking to you. I think you were the placeholder for who she was talking to.
Okay.
When she responds to, what time did you say you got the call?
It was like 11:30 at night.
Okay. Um, when she says, when she shows me the vision of the phone call, she's talking to heaven. She's not talking to you. So when she shows me that she's talking to you, but she's looking up, it means she's talking to your soul or your spirit, not your human self. So it was kind of like on a spiritual level, it was her telling you that there's only a number of days until she goes home, until she leaves that place. But it wasn't meant as an instruction for you
Okay.
because she was already kind of in and out of her body at that time. So you would have noticed, maybe you would have noticed the week before, she's really stuck on this 5 days before passing thing. Something significant about 5 days before she passed. But, and I don't know what that is, maybe it will occur to you. But basically, she was letting, her soul was letting your soul know that mom is dying. And she had already not been fully present in her body and she wasn't there all the time when you would visit with her. Is that true?
Yeah, it's very true. Yes.
Yeah. And a lot
The
of
five
times,
days
like,
does make sense to me because there was just that time period of like she wasn't coming, her situation wasn't changing. And
mhm,
I was the power of attorney, had to make the decision. So that 5 days does resonate with me.
okay.
Because I was
And
making a
did
lot of
she,
decisions in those 5 days.
well, she blows kisses at you, thanks you. She does indicate that you were like doing everything, everything. And it was basically her soul's way of letting you know that they would be coming for her soon. So about a month, it seems like a longer time than I would have expected, but she is holding me to that 5 days. So that does make sense to you. She'll be here the whole time and we can always loop back around, but she loved you so much. And are you the one that kept her her wedding ring?
No, my sister has her wedding ring.
Which one do you have?
I
Because
have
she's showing me one has a wedding ring and one has another ring and it's significant. And I was originally going to go with the other one, but then I saw the wedding ring. So
the
your
claddagh
sister
ring.
has you have that one. Okay. So she is acknowledging that you have a ring of hers that she gave you or that you wear that as hers. And so it's kind of like my confirmation. And your mom likes my rosary. Was she Catholic?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And we can come back if we have more time. I hope we do. Tamara, how can I help you today? Is Tamara not here? Nope, that's the one that didn't join. I knew I was missing somebody. Okay, we'll go to the next person. Christine Hartman. Hello. Um, okay.
Hi.
Hi, I just want to kind of reach out for your spirit. Hold on one sec. Are you wanting to talk to your spirit today?
No.
Are you wanting to connect with somebody in heaven or
Yeah.
tarot cards? Okay. And who would you like to connect with in heaven today?
My dad.
And what's his name?
Bennett. Ben.
Okay. Can I ask if your mom's mom is in heaven?
Yes. And my
And
mom
do
is
you,
also on this chat.
your mom is here in the chat?
Mm-hmm.
Who's your mom?
Diane.
Where's Diane? Where's Diane?
There she is. Are you off of mute?
I don't know.
Why don't I see? I
There.
don't see your name. Where's Diane? Oh, Diane. Oh, because it says iPhone. It doesn't have your name on it. Okay. Um, so I want to ask you because there is I know you asked for your dad, but there is a lady that is coming first. I know your dad is here, but when she came forward and she's like, dad's on this side, mom is on this side. So this is on I believe your mom's side of the family. She matches you, your grandmother. And this is your favorite grandma? Is your mom's mom?
I never met her. She died when my mom was 21.
Do you look like her or something? Or is there a lot of the same personality style as your grandma? Mom, I guess you would be able to answer that, Diane, because
Yeah.
there's this commonality between them, and I can't ignore that as like my first thing. That when you look at your daughter, you see your mom. Like you're like, oh my God, that's like how my mom would say it, or my mom likes that, or you look like my mom, or you have a face like my mom, or you act like my mom. Like she's really making a union. Would you agree with that about your daughter and your
Yep, she's sweet and kind.
mom? Okay. And have you ever told that to your daughter before that she's a lot like your mom?
Probably not.
Okay. Is there a birthday or anniversary in July or January or February?
Um, my dad's birthday.
And
Okay.
dad's is the man that's, I think, with you is January 31st.
Yeah.
Okay. So that would cover that. I'm just trying to make sure that I can really trust that this is your mom. And can I ask if your mom actually looks like your daughter, or if your daughter looks like your mom?
Yeah. I mean, they're both short. Yeah. Have a
She
nice
looks-
smile.
She looks most like her mom out of all her siblings.
Okay. I can't see the lighting, but do you look like your mom?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do people tell you you look like your mom?
Yes.
Okay, then that's enough for me. I'm just trying to make sure that she's showing me that there's a similarity. I know you're both sweet and kind, and she agrees with that, but she is like matching herself to you. Like you look like them. You look like them. And so if your mom looks like her mom and you look like your mom, I'm taking that as being my thing. And she is a spirit guide to you, but when I connect with her, she's a spirit guide and she's very connected to your past life. And it's, well, how deep would you like me to go?
Go for it.
Because there is like a union in the soul of you and your grandmother. So it's kind of like a split soul. Like you and her share the same essence, right? So we can have a lot of past lives, right? But each past life is their own life. It's their own life, their own humanity, their own experience, but they come from the same soul. And so you're kind of like a split with your grandmother. Like you share the same soul base, even though your spirit selves are independent. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is that where the anxiety came from?
Let me ask.
She was very nervous, my mom said.
I can feel her nervousness, but I don't. Your anxiety's in your brain, right?
Mm-hmm.
because when I asked your grandma if you guys have matching anxiety, she said no, she actually had like panicky. But your anxiety is in your brain, and it's only because you argue with yourself. And if you didn't argue with yourself, you wouldn't like develop into anxiety. It's because you think and think and think and overthink. Is that true about you?
That's very true.
Okay. So if you want help with that, we can go over that and talk about that, and I can help you sort out that, because that's just you and your spirit talking to each other, and your grandma acknowledges that. Now, did your dad have a thing with cars or trucks, or have you recently purchased a truck or a car, or do you have his? Like, he's wanting me to take a drive in a truck.
He had a truck that was given to my brother. So it's currently in New York right now, but he doesn't really
Okay.
drive it that much. So
That's
it's probably
okay.
because it's been sitting there.
Well, it's actually, he's like wanting me to go for a ride in the truck, but if his son is the one who has the truck, it would be his acknowledgement of his son. Your dad likes my heaven arm of tattoos. Did someone get a tattoo in his honor, you or your brother or another family member? Because he likes only my heaven arm. So that it is specifically would have to be for him, not just that he has a tattoo or you have a tattoo. It's deeper. It's about him.
Yes. I have a tattoo with his writing on my wrist.
Oh yeah.
And I actually
And that's totally my aunt's. Is right here on my heaven arm is her handwriting, and this is the whole part he liked. Okay, that's
is
beautiful.
it?
Yeah, he acknowledges that. Okay, so that helps me know that that's your dad. And I asked him what he passed, like what happened, and he said he keeled over, and that was his words. Like he wrote the word keeled over on like a board. So did he have an abrupt passing?
No.
He fell over in the garage.
Tell me about that. When did
I
that
mean-
happen?
He had many, that was April. He had many falls.
He had lung
And when-
cancer
And then
and
he
he had
just
trouble breathing.
And lung and brain cancer.
And so there was a point where he was, as a result of that, I mean, that was his expression. I said, what happened to you? He goes, I keeled over. Like he just fell down and died, is kind of the expression that he's giving me. So if he did have multiple falls and that is his, like, I'm hitting the ground, that would match still, even if he's not telling me about cancer, he's telling me about the falls.
Yeah,
So,
there was a couple times where he couldn't even make it through a couple of rooms because of his breathing. And he just passed out.
okay,
Yeah, but-
that will match my loss of consciousness
Yeah.
in that. The handwriting you have, it is actually your dad's handwriting, right? It's not just a script you chose.
Yes, that's his.
Okay.
And I did get 2 tattoos on the Friday the 13th for
Mhm.
$13. And one of them was in his honor, which is kind of our thing. Can he tell you what it was?
Probably not, because then I'm looking for it, but I will open it for him if he does want to share that with me. And I will ask him and see if he does. Or you can tell me and I can ask him for a confirmation. But did you get it on your shoulder blade?
No.
Then I'm probably not. Do you have one on your shoulder blade?
No.
Okay. All right. Nope. He's probably not going to share that with me. But what is your question for your dad? Do you have a son?
Do I?
Yeah.
Yes, I have 2.
Is one of them named after him? Because he's coming to you, but then he comes down a generation and I see a little boy. I want to ask if either of your sons is named after your dad in the first name or the middle name.
My nephew, my brother's son, has a middle name,
Okay.
and my brother has his middle name as well.
Okay. But your children don't have his name, but his only grandson named after him is your brother's?
Yeah, I mean, his name is Bennett. My son's name is Barrett, but it's not named after him.
And it
My
wasn't,
my grandpa, my son has my grandpa's middle name.
and is that grandpa your dad's dad?
That is my mom's dad.
Yeah. No, I think he's referencing the grandson that has his middle name. That would be your brother's son. He is his principal spirit guide and guardian angel. So he's kind of guiding intuitively and inner voice, like the main spirit guide for the grandson that's named after him. He is his principal spirit guide. And which of the kids likes soccer and which one likes baseball?
My son, my youngest son, Barrett, he loves soccer. So he has his
And
last
then-
game.
And then which one likes baseball out of his grandsons?
No one really plays it anymore, but his son or my brother like is really into baseball. I mean, my
Okay.
kids love watching the
Nope,
Cubs.
that's okay. It's okay. His sons and grandsons, yours
Yeah.
really likes the soccer. His son really likes the baseball. It's fine. I'm just making sure that you know he wants you guys to know that he's around all the time. And Diane, he is so thankful for everything from you and your patience because he was cranky. Was he cranky?
Well,
I mean,
just-
I understand. I would be cranky too if I felt like shit all the time, but he's thanking you for being patient and he's thanking you for taking such good care of him.
well, he took care of me too for a long time. And we miss him very much.
Well, he loves you and he keeps showing me the commercial that says, I'll leave the light on for you. And that is there is a commercial from like the Super 6 or the Super 8 or something like that with Tom Bodette. And it's an old commercial. And he's like telling me to tell you he'll leave the light on for you. So do you get a lot of light issues in your house or flickering lights, either one of you? Because that's one of his signs is he likes to mess with the lights in your house.
Well, maybe because I never pull the shades for the blind.
In any case, he does try to mess with the lights in your house. What questions do you have for him? Why did you want to connect with your dad?
Oh, me?
Mhm.
I guess the biggest thing that I hold on to is and I know we met with you one other time and you answered a few of the questions, but more specifically, like what for me, like he said to me the last like thing he said to me was go home and get some rest because I don't think I'm close to dying. And so I gave him a hug and I said goodbye and I left. Well, then he ended up passing that night. And so my plan was, to go in the next day and kind of tell him like what a good dad he was and how much, I enjoyed we had such a really good, strong relationship as father and daughter. And I feel bad that I didn't get to tell him that and kind of have like a proper goodbye. So I just kind of want to know that he knows that and didn't feel like he was gypped because I didn't like it was all like when we were in the ICU and then the hospice, I was like kind of like frozen and afraid to bring things up because I didn't want him to like we all knew he was dying, but I didn't want to like bring attention to it.
So he knew he was dying and you all knew he was dying. And I'm asking him if he can respond before I ask him questions. What does he want to say about what you're talking about?
I just wonder why he told me that, I guess. I would have said more.
Yeah, I'm asking. One of the things he says is that he also knew that he was passing. And he told you to go home and get some rest because as much as I wish I could I would love to go through the exact vision and why I'm translating it this way, but that would take too long because it doesn't kind of work like just regular communication.
Hmm.
But he thought for quite some time, what would the last thing he could tell his children, he could tell his wife, he could tell the people that he cared about so much? What is the last thing he wanted to leave them with? And he realized that there was no words at all that he could say that would suffice as a goodbye, or I'll see you in heaven. Like there are no human words to translate the feeling in someone's heart. There's just not adequate words to describe the amount of love that he feels for you. So he shows me all these visions of your heart talking to his heart, and then it going to all the chakras in your body. And it's like the communication is more not like a goodbye. Like the vision he shows me is like your spirit and his spirit, and your body, his body, your spirit, his spirit, both of them look like this. But when his spirit separated, it went like this. And then your body and spirit is over here, and here comes his spirit. So the actual transition part felt more like a union with you in a spirit to spirit way, and not at all like a goodbye. So he doesn't feel like he needed words or you needed words, or that in fact there were any words that could have described to you what you mean to him.
Hmm.
And he wasn't good at describing those things anyway, he said. So it's not like he didn't have the gift of poetry to tell you this whole soliloquy of how much he loves you. Like that's not, it didn't come out of him like that. You know what I mean?
He wasn't
Um,
many words, so that makes sense.
yeah, yeah. And so that's why it went that way. And I have found, and this is separate from, not that your dad is telling me this, but I have found that sometimes when we are welcomed into heaven, it's sometimes difficult when you have love here on earth, and yet you're being called home, and your humanity is worried about this part, but your soul is like ready to go. Sometimes that's difficult for the soul that's going to transcend. And so they'll wait till everybody's peaceful. Like you'll notice sometimes that you see people hanging on, and then a family member will show up and be like, it's okay, you can go. And then they go. And
Yeah.
so they like wait for that like approval. And from what I feel from your dad, like he couldn't have willingly left.
He waited to see his grandkids before he.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So
And does he feel like we gave up on him as far as like him going to hospice?
oh no, that actually helped his conscious mind recognize that he's allowed to go now.
Yeah, he
Like
requested.
basically going there gave him the permission to kind of let himself experience the entry to heaven, basically is what he's saying. So it was kind of a good thing in his opinion, because it marked the transition for him, basically.
Well, because
Yeah.
he kept saying, I want to give it a couple more days. I want to give it a couple more days. And then I think reality kind of set in, but I just wanted to make sure he wasn't
Mm.
persuaded by the nurses and by his family.
No, he wasn't. He was ready, and there were people there to greet him and love him. And he'll be here the whole time. And Diane, your mom is trying to put a lot of light in your stomach. Are you having digestive issues or problems with your stomach or the middle part of your body at all?
Yeah, I'm gonna have a colonoscopy pretty soon.
Okay, that's coming up, like scheduled and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, You did schedule it, right? Because she's talking about it like
Yeah.
okay. Okay. Your mom is trying to put like some light in there and recognizing that something's going on in your stomach. So just um pray and accept, like, okay, mom, whatever you're trying to do, like, I'm letting it in my body, I'm letting it heal, I'm letting it help me. And she's just gonna try to make that the best possible end result as possible. But I don't feel fears. So I think it's something that is treatable and can be helped, but she's trying to get rid of it. So if you go and they find nothing, say thanks to your mom, because I'm literally watching her like work on it. And do you garden or have a lot of potted plants?
I have potted plants.
Is that how you garden? You pot plant? Like, because your mom is showing me, like, first she shows me a garden, but then everything in the garden looks like it's in a potted plant, like she's putting it in pots. So do you not garden, but you have a lot of potted plants, or
I have potted plants in my house.
like a lot of them? Do you
Yeah.
like them a lot? Is it a thing for you? Like, I just
Yeah.
got to make sure it's a valid, connection with your mom, because she's really
Yeah.
showing it whenever you're talking and you talk to them.
Yeah.
You talk to your plants, like, out loud, talk to them?
I do because they're
Okay,
growing.
because your mom is like, I am there every time she's talking to her plants. And then, but I'm like, everybody, you'll have a thought, like, right, you water your plant, like, oh, in your mind, you're like, oh, it's getting big, it's doing well, oh, I like the way that looks. But like, you're talking to them. And your mom says that when you talk to them, like literally verbally, she's there when you're doing that. So it's the time where your mom is around you a lot is when you're talking out loud to the plants and
Oh,
she's trying to help your stomach. So, and she loves you and she thanks you for everything, and she will be there the whole time, and hopefully we get to come back around for another pass. Trish and Right. So I got your message about work. Was that the second round of layoffs or the first round of layoffs?
I think it's the first round. Now,
Did
this
anybody get laid off in the last 2 or 3 months at your job?
no,
Okay, so this is the first round. I thought you were making it through the first round. I really thought you were making it I thought you were going to get in the second round, from what we
right.
talked about last week. So what is your question? And am I doing the cards for
Yes,
you?
please.
Okay, so what is your question?
So my question is this supposed to lead me to do something else? Or, because I'm always worried about, finances.
Mhm.
So is this pushing me to do something else, or will I be okay financially?
Without getting another job, you mean?
No, I know I need to get another job, but I
Okay.
don't know what that is.
Okay. So your question is this layoff happening because you're supposed to do something else in the world?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Um, Let me ask. Hold on one second. Never had anybody's guardian angel tell me to do that. Hold on. Your spirit wanted me to pick like the 15th card. Like, that has never happened in my whole life, where I'll ask a spirit like to give me a translation and they tell me what card number to pick. But the card that came out for you is the Lover's card. And this card is all about like uniting with a partner, getting a new project. It's like the initiation or the connection and the communication, the coming together of people. So if I apply this to like a career perspective, then this would be where your level of compassion can extend to others. So it feels like a service type of mission. What I what I kind of feel like, if you look at this card, let me see. If you
Mhm.
look at this card, see, this is like an angelic person, an angelic being. And if you notice, the colors are purple, red, and this feels like, it feels like you have to get laid off. Like, this is making you get laid off because this needs you to do this. It's like, this is from up above. It's coming through you so that you can make that connection with people. And the fact that it's the Lover's card is a very intimate connection. It's things like psychology, hospice care, maternity ward care, it's social work, it's feeding homeless people, it's going to the shelters. It's like, this is all about making your root energy connect with others for the purpose of helping them. And the thing is that the clothing that this character, this guardian angel here is wearing is purple. And that is so crown energy, third eye energy. It means that a lot of this effort that you put into your new career will be connected to a form of intuition, a knowledge or a sense of knowledge, which would indicate that this might be something you've done in the past or something very similar to what you've done in the past, because our intuition, and this is just a good thing for everybody to know, our intuition comes and is utilized the richest and the most based on the knowledge and the experiences that we've had in our life. So if we ever wanted to increment our intuition, I'll give you an example. I don't know a lot about anatomy. I used to be a computer programmer, but I talk to people who ask me questions about their physical body, but I don't have that knowledge. So it's really difficult for my spirit to tell me something that I have no knowledge of. I don't know where to go for it. So I got this big anatomy book and I looked at the book and I read the book and I kind of learned where different things were in the book. So I have built my intuitive database. Now, if my spirit, if I'm in a reading and my spirit wants to talk to me about the spleen, I'll go to the red section because my spirit will show me the red section. And I'm like, okay, it's by the spleen. Got to go to the red section. I know exactly where to find it. So when I see this card specifically, and it shows me this purple up above you, it means that what you're going to apply here from on earth is interaction with people. And you've probably done it before because you have a lot of knowledge that your spirit can tap into for intuition so that they get what they need.
Okay. And they'll help me, or they'll guide me to whatever that is, hopefully.
Yes, and let me ask if you will be guided or if you got to decide. So let's say, will you be guided? Better yet, let me ask. I'm going to ask, will you be guided? Kind of like, will it be brought to your attention or do you have to decide and seek it out? So let's see. Okay, and I'll throw 3 on that. Oh, you've already been guided. Did you already tell yourself what you're going to do if you were to get laid off?
No,
Did you say, oh, if I get laid off, I'll probably do this?
no, not that I'm consciously aware of.
This looks like you already know.
How do I know? I know.
Were you talking to a gentleman about this, about somebody at work or a neighbor or anybody about having the layoff, about
No.
getting laid off? A gentleman? I feel like you have a conversation with some gentleman and he's like, well, why don't you do that? And you're like, oh yeah, but I feel like it already happened.
No.
When is your layoff? When do you get laid off?
The end of the year.
Okay, that's fair. That's 3 months, right? We're October to November. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in my present vision, It's 3 months before and 3 months after. So there's 3 months before, 3 months after. That constitutes my current time frame. That's why it looks like it already happened. It's already in my present time frame. Let me see. This is going to happen actually before you lose your job, so you're not actually laid off yet. Let me ask your spirit. Hold on. I'm not going to ask the cards. I want to just ask your spirit. So, where do you work? Because I don't know if you're getting laid off. So the vision is you are talking to a gentleman about being laid off. And in that conversation, he mentioned something to you and you're like, oh yeah, I should definitely do that. And you seem to be in agreement with him, but you haven't been laid off technically yet. So there's two possibilities that come in my vision. One is you actually don't end up getting laid off. If that's true, and the end of the year comes and you don't end up getting laid off, that would match my first vision that I thought you posted past the first layoff, but then you got it on the second layoff. I do remember that. The other possibility is that when you have that I don't get laid off, that you might be doing something in the same company, but it wouldn't be on a business side. It would be on an advocacy side, on a connecting with people side. Is that a possibility at your current job?
It could be, yes.
How so? What do you do now? What do you do?
So I'm in healthcare. I'm in healthcare sales
Oh,
though, but I have a
okay.
background in nursing and hospice.
Oh, that might be what you're going back to.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's very intimate. It's very, it feels very much like it comes from your heart. The cards feel like, if I read the cards, that would be your angels saying like they're directing it. And could you do that at your same company that you're at now? Or is that a strictly like a sales company? Because I see this connection between you and this other gentleman that kind of points you in the direction of your next position.
Hmm. I mean, it is strictly sales, but perhaps I could create something like that. I don't know.
Okay. Or you'd be going back to where you used to do those other things at the nursing and the hospice, because that's where that card looks like it's pointing you that way.
Hmm.
Okay.
Thank you.
And we can revisit. You're welcome. Donna, can you hear me now, Donna?
I can. I,
Hey,
I have no idea what happened, but yay.
today, tarot card connection, talking to your spirit, or just random question?
Um, well, I have like one concern, so I don't know
Sure.
if maybe, like whatever.
Okay,
like,
I'll
goes
ask
through
your
with the
spirit
answer.
once you tell me the concern.
Okay, so back years ago, I don't know if it was like 2011, I did that workshop with you,
Mm-hmm.
and you had said something to me. You saw something with my eyes. You
Mm-hmm.
said you couldn't pinpoint anything. I wasn't having any issues, so I really didn't understand it. But I'm sorry, I'm kind of scratchy in the throat. I apologize. I recently have just developed like all these symptoms with my eyes, and I'm currently with an ophthalmologist trying to figure it out. And like my eyesight fluctuates, and it's like really concerning. And I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's causing it. Why all of a sudden? I mean, I've been struggling with like a lot of like mystery illnesses. My
Did you
last,
ever did your doctor check you for TED?
I don't know what that is.
Do you have a thyroid problem?
I had my thyroid removed. I had cancer.
You know what? Something is connected. I keep getting that a vision of that commercial where the girl has I know you've seen the commercial on TV,
Yeah.
thyroid eye disease, and something happens, not that your eyes are bulgy, but the thyroid imbalance can actually make you get floaters, it can make you blurry, it can make you like feel like your eyes are crossing, it can make your eyes roll. Before you go for your ophthalmologist, maybe you need to go see an endocrinologist or an internist or something, because why would I see? That's the commercial I see.
Okay.
You know, and
Um,
I see cataract commercials. I mean I have enough references
cataract,
that I
say I have cataracts, but
that you
that's really not the like that is like like a constant, like where I could understand what that is, but my
yeah.
eyes like they fluctuate, like where I could see, I can't see, and it's in a
Yeah,
state
like
you don't have glasses for, and
or
it's
one kind of goes off a little bit while the other one is still staying straight.
no, they're more like like a severe dryness, burning, like just constantly bloodshot to the point where I can't even open my eyes. Um,
Yeah,
like
I'm still at the thyroid.
you
Um,
know, he did order some of those tests, blood tests.
your ophthalmologist did?
Yeah. So
Oh, that's
it's
good. He might
possible.
find it, and you might find it's connected to that, because if I didn't know ophthalmologists would do that, but that's awesome if he is, because I think that might be the culprit.
Okay, because I do see they have not regulated my medication, my hormone medication since the thyroid was removed. So like that's possible. He did bring up thyroid, so
Yeah,
he
and maybe you need a supplemental one, like an additional thyroid. You know, they have both of those medications. They have the Synthroid and they have that Cytomel too. So there's one for T3 and there's one for T4. So
okay.
you're going to have to do research and see which is it T3 or is it T4 that can kind of screw with your eyesight. But
Okay.
that's the commercial that I saw, and I just want to throw a couple cards on it too, because I know what I'm seeing from the vision from your spirit. But I want to ask if I think I'm just going to say to your guardian angels, are we on the right track? Are we on the right track as far as the thyroid thing? And then, yeah, let me just see what card comes out for that. Oh, the thing is that I like your ophthalmologist. I think he's going to try other tests too. So I hate to say this, but your body might be like this. You could have a little of the thyroid thing, and then you could have a little retina thing, and then you could have a little. So I want to add up 2 or 3 different things. And I don't know if one causes the other, or he's going to get all your results and be like, well, I could see how the thyroid could contribute to this, but you also have a little bit of, stigmatism, or you also have this thing in your retina. Like, I feel like he isn't going to find the exact thing, but he's going to find things that could all contribute. So maybe the contributing factors, all of them together, is what's causing it, because it's not. When I asked, are we on the right track? Is it the thyroid? And the thing I have is like, yeah, that's one of the things.
Mm,
But that's what it comes back is like, yeah, that's one of the things. But he's still going to have to do some more investigation. So it might be a little bit of this and a little bit of that together. That's what gives you the symptoms that you have.
okay. I just like get so scared, worry about blindness and stuff.
I can ask about that. So let me ask your spirit if blindness was a challenge that was in your path or that is in your path. I think I'm gonna see if I could get a vision on that.
Eh.
When you were a little kid, did you ever have to wear corrective shoes? Like
No.
something, never. You know how like some kids when they're born, you have to put on like the little brace on the shoe so the foot gets straight, or some kids walk on their pointy toes, and so you got to get shoes that kind of flatten them out so they walk on all of their foot instead of just their pointy toes. And when
Yeah.
you were a child, did you have any of those things?
No, nothing like that. No.
Okay, and that would indicate no, blindness is not a challenge that you set up or that has been set up for this part of your life. Although one of your eyes you might need like really, really bad, big glasses for, you might have to have some corrective surgery done to one of your eyes, but blindness isn't something that your spirit is making me feel connected to because you never had to wear corrective shoes. I just, they can tell me yes or no, but I really look for a vision to confirm or unconfirm based on what they know about you and what they share. So that would be a no. I do want to ask in the opposite direction. So hold on one second and let me see about that. Do you have any, well, everybody has that, but do you have any implants in your, as for teeth?
Yes.
Like, not a crown, like everybody has a crown,
I
just
have
they
one.
drilled in and they gotta, you gotta, it's stuck in there,
Yeah.
like it can't come out.
Yeah, I have one implant tooth. Yeah.
Okay, so the second question I asked, you know, the first question was, so is blindness a challenge that you have set up in this lifetime? Like, are you going to face that? Is this a challenge in this lifetime? So your spirit shows me that you needed corrective shoes when you were a baby or a little kid. If you say, no, I never needed that, that means, okay, not true. Okay, so blindness is not an issue for you in your life. So then the second question I asked was, did I understand that correctly?
Mhm.
So it's kind of like the opposite direction. So did I understand that correctly? And then I see an implant, like, you know, like the commercial, you know, Spile, and they'll give you a new teeth and they drill in and they screw it in, and that's your permanent tooth now. Like you can't take it out. So if you have that, that's positive, which means yes, I understood the previous message correctly. So blindness
Okay.
doesn't look like it's going to humble you, but you will have difficulty with one eye more significant than the other and probably require a corrective surgery of some kind or some
Okay.
attention to that eye through your life,
Okay. Thank you.
which tells me it's not going to go away. It's also going to, it's always going to be a pain in the ass, but you'll be able to see.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Okay. All right.
You said that in 2011, and it just kind of like is surfacing now, and it's kind of like, whoa.
Did I tell you in 2011? Gosh, I've known you that long.
Longer than that? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
We were doing the workshop, and
Yeah,
you just
time
out of the blue,
flies.
like out of the blue, you just blurted it out, and it was always on my mind, and now it's happening.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that's happening.
You never have to.
Okay, so we and we'll try to take a pass back if we have time to do that. And Linda, I am connecting with you now. So what can I do for you today, my friend?
Okay. I just wanted to connect with my girlfriend that died, Diane.
Okay. That's the one in Vegas, right? Because she came in just,
Yeah.
that's the friend. That's, you have a few friends over there, but I met her one time. And
Yeah.
what she's referring to is the hotel. The vision I get is the hotel that we stayed in, and I'm watching her like walk through the door. So she comes in and she's like, hey, and I have to ask you this because I don't remember, did I, previous to meeting her face to face, did I have a session with her before I met her
Yeah.
face to face? Do you remember?
You did a phone session.
Before we were in Vegas and before I met her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did not remember if I only met her then or if I had had a session with her prior to that, because she's using that as confirmation that it's really her also.
Yeah.
And she was really short, right?
Yeah.
Now her son, not short, or like a buffer guy?
Let's see. He was kind of short. The whole family was short, but he was into
But was
sports.
he thick?
I don't know what he was before he died. He wasn't when he was little. So,
Okay, well, she's with her son, and that's like he looks buff and he looks grown and he's taller than
good.
her, and she's little.
yeah, he wasn't as
said-
short as her. But
Okay. Like Renee, would you say?
not the last time I saw him, but
Okay. Well, anyway, she's kind of trying to indicate that she's with her son. She is here, and she does know about the tattoo. That one was for her, right? The heart.
right.
Okay. And she does know that. She didn't know that the last time you were in Vegas was the last time you would see her, and you didn't see her much. Did you guys only see each other for a little bit the last time you went?
Yeah, she was having a problem with her foot, and then my mother OD'd on herself, so I had to come home. But
Oh,
it was in the same hotel that we were at
Okay.
before.
okay, because she's like, damn, I didn't know the last time I saw you, like the last time that she saw you would be the last time she saw you.
Right.
And she
right.
thought you guys had a lot more time, and damn,
Yeah.
that's what she said. She's like, damn, like
Yeah, that
there's
sounds about
this
right.
like
Yeah.
like damn, I wish I would, like, God, that was a missed opportunity is what she makes me feel like. And she's really, really sorry about that. But she says that you know how much she loves you, and you are actually her friend, like forever and ever, and her really only true friend. Is that true? Like her
That's
feeling
probably
is
true.
that you are like really, really her only true friend. And Kelly is over there and he's like waving and waving.
Okay,
And he
yeah.
said something happened to your clock or your alarm clock. He shows me an alarm clock from like 1980, the brown ones that look like with the digital numbers.
With the
on them.
numbers that flip.
Yeah, that flicker and they're red. Do you know what he's talking about
Yeah.
or why? You don't have one, do you? You don't have one of those.
No, I don't. We haven't had one of those in a really long time.
Yeah, I haven't had one in 30 years, but he's showing it to me. So have you been getting up late, running late? Any reason he's talked to me about wake up alarm clock thing, getting up in the morning?
I hate to get up in the morning, but yeah,
Yeah,
no, I
it
don't.
feels more significant than that, but he's over there too.
Okay, I got a question for him.
Yes.
Yeah, what is with the turkeys? Is there a significance to the turkey that I'm not getting, or does he just think it's funny?
Is there a significance to the turkey?
Seeing turkeys, yeah.
Okay, let me ask him. Oh, are you having Thanksgiving? Because he thinks it's very funny, and the other thing is, he has to always let you know that he's around and give his opinion. But I think he's thinking you're having Thanksgiving. But are you? Or are you guys going to Plays?
I don't know. No one's discussed that yet. It's a long way off.
It's not. It's only actually like 3 weeks.
Oh, okay.
It's early. It's like a week early this year. 4 weeks. It's like a week early this year. But he'll be there on Thanksgiving. Me personally, because he's saying that it's funny, but it's more about having everybody together for Thanksgiving. And it feels like Thanksgiving, everybody should get together. Like all the kids, all the grandkids, your mom, everybody should get together for Thanksgiving. So he's
Yeah.
trying to like make it really obvious that everybody should come together for Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
and you should-
probably like the last Thanksgiving, he wasn't in hospice, but he was in the hospital. And only Candace and Andrew came. The other ones had little kids, so they didn't
Mhm.
come. So he might be referencing that.
Yeah, he's
Why everyone
to
should
get-
get together.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, everyone should get together, and then also for your mom, and everybody should come together. So he's talking about that.
Okay, well, he better be there and make sure there's no fights then. 'Cause every time I have a holiday, there's a fight with some of the kids.
Your friend just says, tell everybody, hey, and they'll stop. Just stop it before it starts. You're not gonna do any, you're not playing that today. That's what your friend says. She says it smells so green in heaven.
Really?
Hmm.
It smells so green. Okay.
Yeah, it smells so nature. It smells so fresh. It's like fresh, fresh. You never smelled this kind of fresh before, she said. She
Yeah,
said
she
thank
wasn't
you for
really
not. She said thank you for not bailing on her. Why would she say that? Bail on her for what? But she like people dropped out, but you never dropped out. And it
Right.
feels significant. It feels like a situation caused people to drop back out of her life, but you never did and you never judged it. Do you know
I
what?
never
You don't have
judged-
to
no.
tell me, but do you know what she's talking about?
Oh, like her whole life. Like, she moved to Vegas and her son was still with his father. And then, you know, I don't know. A lot of people judge her. And she was
Yeah.
just my friend, so I didn't need to judge her.
Yeah. Well, she loves you and he loves you and he'll be around on Thanksgiving and that's
Oh, okay.
the message for that. But, and it is kind of funny, huh?
Well, yeah, it's like I see turkeys when I'm riding the bike. I see wild turkeys and then books with turkeys. And I don't know what's with the turkeys. I'll see them on TV. I'm like, what is with the turkeys?
Yeah,
I think just he thinks it's funny.
it is funny, but he thinks everybody has to come to your house for Thanksgiving.
Okay, well, I'll have to do that then.
Okay.
All right.
Anything else?
No, that was my 2 notes.
Okay.
And just, I guess, hi to Adam, Diane's son.
He said, hey.
Hey, okay.
All right. And Ina Gerdova.
Yes.
How can I
Hello.
help you today? Hi.
I would like to connect with my husband.
Okay. Do you have 3 children?
I have son and 2 grandsons.
So 1 son, 2 grandsons?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yes.
that's my 3. Okay. And then when I connect with your husband, did he stop eating or he couldn't swallow or was he with the tube? Like, did he get intubated or?
Yes.
And did you do something with his shirt, his shirts? Did you make stuff out of his shirts?
No.
Like nobody made a blanket or you didn't make a pillow? What did you do with his shirts?
Nothing. It's still in the closet. I don't know what to do with his stuff.
He feels like he's showing me that you're making something out of his shirt. Maybe he wants you to make something out of his shirts. Is February or January or March? January, February, March. Is that anybody's birthday?
Yeah, in March, our grandson was born in February, and in March our son was born.
I think your husband wants you to take his shirts and have them made into a blanket.
Okay.
For his grandchildren, his son, for you. He's like, because he keeps showing me vision. Do you sew?
No.
Yeah, maybe you'd have to get that made, but he is showing me like making something for a memory out of his shirts. So I asked him if I'm understanding him correctly, and he tells me to ask about January, February, March for birthdays, and that's your son and your grandson. Is the back door in your house, does the door stick? Is it like needs to be fixed?
Well, not really, but maybe just a little bit. We've talked about this. We discussed it.
Who, you and him or me
Yeah.
and you?
No, him and me.
Oh, when? Before he died, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay, that's him. Then I feel really comfortable that I'm understanding him correctly and that that's my confirmation. If that's something that you and he talked about before he passed away and he's bringing it up now, it means that like for his shirts or his clothing, you can have, as a memory from him, you can get blankets ordered and made like a memory blanket. And so he
Mhm.
talks about that. Now, did you give away his car
Mhm. Well, we sold it. He sold it.
before he passed, or did you do it afterward?
No, before he passed.
Okay. Okay. What can he answer for you today?
Uh, I'm having like does he come to our house? Because like particularly at midnight, if I'm staying later, I'm always kind of see his presence because lights are flickering in the house. It never happened before. And then my robot, the cleaner, all of a
Mhm.
sudden came up at night. And I just couldn't stop it from the phone. I have to physically go downstairs to stop it. Is it
Well,
him?
I'm gonna say that yes, that's him 100%. But the reason I'm gonna say why is that him is because Linda's husband is laughing and he keeps showing me when he likes to turn on her computer all these years. He just turns on the computer, turns off the computer. It's like not on a timer or anything. It just happens. So as you're asking me about this for your husband, her husband is laughing. And then they're looking at each other laughing. So that is your husband is doing that also. He is the guy with the lights, but your grandma on your mom's
Uh-huh.
your grandma on your mom's side, she's the one you hear walking. So he's not the one that you can hear walking. That's your grandmother, but the lights is him. Do you hear somebody walking around and you thought it was your husband, but it's actually your grandmother on your mom's side?
Okay, well, I hear some sounds sometimes, but well, I kind of know nobody's in the house, but okay.
Yeah, so your grandma is the noise you hear if somebody's walking around, but the lights are connected to your husband and he is around. And I think he told me about fixing the back door because he is around. Like that brings me to the back door. Obviously, he knows you didn't fix it, even though he told you to.
So I was invited to the wedding to our mutual friend. Should I go?
Mhm. What's the name of the mutual friend?
Alex.
Oh, yeah, but you won't be going alone, right? There's 3 other people that will go with you that you know.
Well, there are many people that I know, but I'm just going
No,
to.
but I mean like 3 people, 2 or 3, maybe you're number 3. Um, are you going along with 2 other people that you'll drive with them or you'll sit with them or they'll pick you up on the way? Like who's going with you? There's 2 people for sure going with you.
Oh, really? Because supposedly my parents supposed to go, but we never got invitation for them yet.
You will. So your parents are still here on Earth?
Yeah.
Okay. And so you heard that your parents were going to get invited?
Yeah, I've heard it sometimes, yes, but
I'm asking him if your parents are going, and that's why he's saying you're going with 2 other people. Do you or does your mom have arthritis in your hands?
well, mom probably does.
Well, probably, or she does. Like, does her hands hurt a lot?
No, she might
Okay.
have it, but no, her hands do not hurt. No.
Okay. And what about yours? Any arthritis in your
No.
hands?
Mm-mm.
And then do you leave and go on a walk every day outside?
I'm trying to, yes.
Yeah, I asked 2 different ways. And it looks like your parents are the 2 people that are going with you, but would they pick you up? Because my vision is they pick you up. Do they
No.
drive still?
They drive, yes, but it probably will be me who is driving.
Okay. So I do think you should go because he's showing me that two other people are going, your parents are going, or they're supposed to be going, and I do have a vision of you going with them. So he thinks, yes, you should go to the wedding.
Yeah, I am missing him a lot. Just tell him that.
So I don't know what nationality or what language you speak, but does a word like mushka sound like a word that means anything to you? Because I don't speak whatever language you speak, but he's sounding it out. And so can I ask you, A, what language do you speak? And B, does he speak the language? And what does that word mean?
I don't know, but maybe it's something familiar. I speak Russian. We are from Russia.
Does that word sound like a word, mushka? Like, do you know a word like that in your language?
Well, something
That
like
he
this,
would say that to me?
not sure.
So it's not a word that you're familiar with?
No.
Well, according to Google Translate, it's spelled like that, Mushka, Mywka.
Hmm.
Do you know what that means?
No, it could be different interpretations, so I don't know.
Well, in Google Translate, when I type the phonetic Mushka in, it means spot of beauty,
Hmm.
foresight, or spot of beauty
Mhm.
is what it says. Like a bead. Okay, I'm not going to try to speak Russian, but that's what the phonetic Google translation means, and he's trying to say that to you. I think he's saying you're beautiful. That's how I would take it, since it means spot of beauty, or a little bead of beauty is what it means. I'm thinking that that's what he's saying to you, but that comes out in the translation. So I want to take that he misses you and loves you, and you are very beautiful to him. And he'll be here also. So Tim, I think I know what I can help you with. I think you're here to talk to Amy, but you may have a different thing that you want to do today. So what can I do for you?
Well, hello there. Yes, you're right. Of course, it's about Amy.
Okay. So let me just reach out and make sure she's present, and then we can ask her whatever you like.
Okay.
So hold on. And I love her so much, so I feel so comfortable when I know it's her. So I just have to validate a few things that maybe I am not aware of. Can I ask if you know, did the cancer ever reach her brain or her brainstem in any way?
It did not.
Okay. Can I ask you if she felt pressure just in her face or her nose or around here by her eyes, connected to a symptom that she would have been having?
Yeah, she had a lot of side effects with all the chemo and her
Okay.
sinuses and what have you.
She had from the chemo, really?
Yeah.
Okay. And
Just side
then
effects.
is the month of August, September, or June significant for a birthday or anniversary for anybody that you guys love?
September is my birthday. And it's also the month that she passed.
She acknowledges you or says happy birthday. I know that it's her. I just needed her to tell me a couple things, so that we have that confirmation that she's present. So she loves you so much, and she is so thankful to you for everything that you did for her and continue to do for her. She's a little worried about your son. Is he home a lot or doesn't like to go out too much, or is he staying closer to home? Is he going out with his friends? Like she's feeling like she wants him to be like more social.
Yeah, he's pretty much either at work or he's home. So no, he does not go out hardly at all.
Oh, she wants them to like try to go out or call some people or like to, go have fun sometimes and stuff or
We go
um
out a lot together, so
yeah, like go on a vacation, go to Florida, like or hang out with people. Like she wants him to go out to have fun and um hang out with people. And she knows he's working really hard too, but there is a little bit of she wants him to live life and to have fun and to go out. And she wants the same things for you also. Um she I know I spoke to your daughter recently, but she's
right,
showing
yeah.
me the same thing and she's showing me an engagement ring. So did Tyler propose?
No, but I would say before the year's out, I would suspect something will come up. Yes.
Okay. Did he ask your permission yet? Because Amy is like all giddy, and that usually feels like it's more than an idea. Like
Right.
she's
No,
bringing it up. So,
he has not asked me yet, nor has he asked her. But I've made it very well known that I would like him to ask me first, just for
okay, good. Okay.
know.
Oh, so you put the rule. Okay, I'm wondering because Amy is talking about him, like showing me him going like very nervous to ask you. So if you already made it known that he should do that traditional, and
Yep.
come to you, then that she's showing it to me. So that's good. And that's probably going to be very soon. Is something that's the second time she brought it up too. Are you thinking or considering a downsize on your house?
No,
Because there is something about the changing the house. Now, I don't it doesn't really look like a remodel. It looks smaller. So, are you thinking of moving or is that coming to your mind at all that she would be bringing it up?
no, but I'm constantly doing some sort of a project around the house. A lot of the projects that Amy and I talked about, I'm finally getting to, and so
Mhm.
just about I always got something going on at the house here. Yeah.
Okay. But you're not thinking of selling, you're thinking of keeping the house, moving forward?
Right. It's funny though. A lot of people ask me about that, and I'm very comfortable here, and this is where I want to stay for right now.
Okay. Okay. What questions do you have for her today?
Well, I have a few, but time allowing. But I guess my biggest question is: so almost every night before I go to bed, I tell Amy to come to me in my dreams, and I don't ever see her.
Yeah.
What's the connection with dreams? Is there?
So I don't dream either. I think I dream like once a year.
Hmm.
A lot of time, you and Amy are so close, so close. So what I have found is when we have everyday connection or communication with someone through our own energy and their energy, there's no need for them to interrupt you in the
Huh.
night and break your sleep pattern or give you a dream. So I can help you understand how that works. And we can do a few exercises, not tonight, but we can go over that because when someone doesn't visit you in your dreams, it means that you're talking to them during the day. And
That's
so, for example, let's say that you're driving home from work and you're not thinking of Amy or anything, and all of a sudden, there she is, like her face pops into your head, like out of nowhere. That's her communicating with you and saying hello to you. So that impact or that impression has a message connected to it. It could be a hello, it could be let's have chicken for dinner. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to interpret it. And we have a system of energy called our chakra system, and the people in heaven can communicate in any one of those chakras. So sometimes you're thinking about something, but you'll hear her response in your brain. It'll sound like your own brain voice, but it'll be her intonation, and you'll be like, that what your mom would have said or what Amy would have said, and it'll be just like exactly what she would have said. And
Yeah.
that's the energy to energy connection. So if she's not coming to you in your dreams, you are already talking to her.
Okay.
And you get messages from her. So do you know how that works, and have you perceived that? Because if you're not, then we should do a couple privates so I can help you understand how all of that works as she's talking to you every day.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of things that I see and hear, and I know it's Amy. But it's like I would love to have a dream where we could talk. Like you have dreams of other people, and I'm like, well, how
Yeah,
come I see her though? But I
because
understand.
they're not talking to you all day like she is.
Yeah.
It really is that way. Like I do not dream. I do not dream at all. If I have one dream a year with my grandma, it's awesome. I think I've had one dream since my mom passed of my mom. And I did ask my mom, I'm
Sure.
like, how come you don't come to me in a dream? She's like, well, I
Right.
talk to you all the time, Nicole. I'm like, oh yeah, that's true.
Uh,
And so I'll have one here and there, but I do not get them a lot. And if you do have that soul to soul connection that you and Amy have, you are having that connection all the time.
okay. She
Yeah,
is
I'm
in my dreams,
sorry.
and she'll be in the background. She's there, but we don't chat. And
Well, it kind of like, so she's laughing at that. And she even started to respond before you even said anything. And she said, when you guys used to go to like family parties or other parties, how much did you sit and chat with each other? You were talking to the other people, and then you'd fill each other
Right.
in the car on the drive home. So she's telling me like, that's so typical. And so she was like, oh, we'll catch up later. It's okay. You
Yeah.
can talk to them. You don't see them often or talk to them often, but you talk to me often. So I feel like if she is actually in your dream, but kind of off in the background,
Yeah.
she's just giving you time to interact in that dream. So
Okay.
no, it really is really how it works. Like I've asked them in heaven, because I would love to see my mom, my grandma. I get one dream a
Right,
year
right.
with my grandma. So it is kind of normal.
Well, and then so my other question, before Amy passed, she was very powerful faith, and she said, I know I'm going to go to heaven. Even when the priest was here giving his last rites to her, before she went off to hospice, she told him, she says, I know I'm going to heaven. She was not worried in the least about that. So, and we talked a lot about that, but what's your opinion? Because how do you get to heaven?
What do you mean?
Well, I want to make sure I go to heaven.
Well, the first thing she shows me is there's the door for heaven for you is wide open, because the key of getting into heaven is to love all of your neighbors. Like that's literally the vision that I have, is that the door for you to heaven is open because your door has always been open to the neighbors, to everybody. Like you literally treat everybody. I know Amy more than I know you. I know you and I have connected a few times, but her thing is that the natural way that you are and the compassion that you have for people, that is what your key to heaven is, or your doorway to heaven. So when Amy answers the question, and I'll have to check the Bible to make, to see, but she says, if you love your neighbor, then you can go right into heaven. So that's her thing, is how you get to heaven. So that's an indication of love of others. Love of others is what gets you to heaven. And
Okay.
loving others is what gets you to heaven. But I also know that there's kind of twofold in that, because in order to truly love another, you must love yourself. Right? And you must become friends with the part of you that is your soul, and you are one of the others. Right? We say love others as love people outside of myself, right? But loving others is loving every human being. And from the perspective of heaven and the perspective of your soul, you are also a human being, right? So in order to truly effectively love another, you must truly effectively love yourself and honor that relationship that you have with your own soul. Because when you have the ability to do that and to love your own self, you actually accidentally end up honoring and loving others in the capacity that brings you right to heaven. I actually teach a workshop on that called Honor Self, but that's what ends up happening when you have a love that is unconditional toward the self. Then the love that is unconditional is automatic for the world around you. Like, you don't have to decide who to love. You actually will love everyone and see the good in everyone, actually, because of that reason, because you love your own humanity and your own self. It's a byproduct of loving your own humanity and loving yourself. And there is a difference between being selfish and being self-serving. And self-serving is a good way to love yourself, but being selfish is not a good way to love yourself. So just learning the difference between those two concepts allows you to love others in that way. But she thinks that there's a red carpet out for you because you do love others that way, and you always tend to put others before you. So I'll take her word for that, but that's what she says.
Okay.
And she is going to try to give you a dream, like where she's talking to you. But if she is actually in the dream, just not talking to you, that might mean you can try lucid dream, which is when you realize you're in the dream, ask her a question real quick. You might not get your answer in the dream, but you'll get it that day, which is a fun exercise if you can do that, where you're in the dream and you notice she's in the dream. Ask her a question in the dream. She may not talk to you still, but you may get the answer to the question the next day when you're awake.
Okay.
And also, one of the things I do with my mom that everybody can do is, like, if I haven't talked to my mom in a few weeks, I'm like, I haven't talked to you in 3 weeks. Like, I need a really literal sign, like you have to like throw it right at me. And then they try to do that. So ask them to prove it. Ask them to show you something that you cannot deny that is totally them, and that actually really helps a lot. And they'll try to get that message to you also.
All right.
All right. Toya, I love you. I miss you. I haven't seen you in like 100 years. So how are you? And it's so great to see you. What are we doing today?
Yeah, I know a lot has changed. It's been a long time.
Yes,
So,
I know. I see some things here and there on Facebook, but when I saw your name today, I was really happy to see you. So thank you so much for coming. What can we do today for you?
I guess maybe my higher self, if I have maybe any guidance. And then I just had like 1 or 2 questions that were just littler questions.
Okay. Do you want me to ask for guidance on a particular path or just in general?
In general, like
Okay.
something, I guess, whatever, just like my highest and greatest good to know.
Okay. Let me ask. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so when I connect to your spirit, there is a flow of energy that begins in your heart chakra, goes up to your crown chakra, and then slides all the way to your root chakra, which I like. Like, this is a good flow of energy. because this says that you have dreams in your heart, and I'm on back. I hear my backdrop. So who can everybody mute just while I'm doing this? So I don't hear myself back. When I connect, so this is a good energy. This is a good like dance that your spirit does, because she's like, look, I have dreams, and like I know the things I want to do in my life, and it comes up here. And then you take that dream, that information, that thing you want to do, and you bring it all the way back down through your entire chakra system, all the way to your root chakra, which indicates that you have the ability to accomplish this dream or these ideas, these things that you want to accomplish. This is awesome. Once it hits the root chakra and you begin to start to manifest it or think about how to manifest it, you change your mind due to a relationship. So one of the things that is the guidance from your spirit is don't dumb down because you're in a relationship with somebody else. So let's say that you want to have a hair salon and you're like, I'm going to open up a hair salon business. And then you tell your best friend, I'm going to open up a hair salon business. Like, that's my dream. And that dream has already began here. You've thought about it. You've kind of thought of everything you need to do to get it off the ground. And now you're ready, and you tell your friend, and she puts a kibosh on it. She's like, oh, I think you're going to lose a bunch of money. I don't know if you should do that. And then you're like, oh, yeah, maybe not. Maybe you're right. I should think about it a little more. And so you backtrack. Do you do that? Because your spirit is saying you cannot backtrack on something that you know you've already brought through yourself. You're already in an agreement with yourself, in a relationship with yourself. But then you might change your mind because it could make the people in your life feel uncomfortable about whatever it is that you may or may not want to do. So is that in general, or are you thinking about something that you're kind of unable to move forward on because of a best friend or a husband or a parent or a sister or opinions of others?
It could be a little of that, but I also don't know if sometimes I get in my own way, because I have like a list, like I have these like great goals and things that I want to do, but then I think I'm like, oh, I'll do it later. And then like another, like maybe I kind of do that a little bit to myself. I'm not sure.
Let me ask. We could stretch it like that, but then we would be stretching it like, and this is valid stretching, like, I would love to do that. I just can't do it right now when my kids are little. Or like, I do want to do that, but I have these other priorities that are kind of more of an empathetic type of connection that doesn't let me focus so much on what I want to do. So sometimes when we are limited, it is based on other relationships, but not that they're squashing us down, but that our own feeling of responsibility towards those relationships maybe exhausts us, or we're overdoing it with them and we're not taking enough time for ourselves, which means if we're not doing that for that reason, we're not, because we're tired or we just don't have the energy, that's where we're not honoring ourselves, and then ultimately we're not honoring them either. So you don't end up doing anybody favors by ignoring yourself for them. The best thing I can say is that when our spirit talks to us and when we have these epiphanies or these ideas that kind of pop into our head, before our soul ever asks us to do a major thing, like before we are, let's say we're going to go on an airplane flight, but the plane is going to crash, and our spirit wants to warn us the plane is going to crash. When we go to get on the plane, we might have this feeling inside ourselves or this thought that pops in our head that says, don't get on the plane. It won't never tell us why we shouldn't get on the plane. It'll just tell us, don't get on the plane. Now, 50% of the time you can say, oh my God, I watched that movie last week where there was that plane crash. That's probably why I'm telling myself that, like I'm freaking out. In order for us to truly develop the type of relationship with our own spirit that we want to develop, we have to listen to all those epiphanies, all those internal guidances, all the things that the rest of the world doesn't care about. So when you're on the couch and you're watching TV and all you're thinking about is the TV show and something says, do your laundry, get up and go do your laundry. Not so much because anybody cares that the laundry is done or that the outside world cares. What it does is it shows you the difference between your human brain that was watching TV and your soul that just told you to do the laundry. And the more you listen to these little these little promptings inside of you, that inner voice communication, that is the reason you're doing that, is to be friends with your spirit. So that when you're going to get on the plane, if it's going to blow up and your spirit doesn't want you to get on it and your spirit pops in your head, don't get on it, you'll know for sure, is that your subconscious or is that your soul guiding you? And that's the purpose of doing the little things. So when we tell ourselves, oh, I'll do the laundry later, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it next week, what we're doing is really telling our soul, shut up and sit down, I'm not ready to listen to you. And then when our boyfriend leaves or our husband is mean or something happens in the family, or we need an answer because we're trying to decide if we should do this thing or do that thing, we're like praying and praying. And how do we know how are we going to get the answer?
Yeah, I agree with you.
You know, like, how are we going to get that information in? And that's why it's so important to do the little things, so that when we have a dream or an endeavor that we really want to do, we'll be able to listen to those little inner promptings that say, oh, today, just do this part. Oh, just do this part today. Just come up with this piece today. And those little inner promptings actually gets you to the destination that you actually want to have. You see? So listen to the little things, so that, and you don't have to do the dream all today. It's when you're prompted to do it, when you feel it inside to do it, you're supposed to focus on it so that you can actually do that. Does that make sense? And does that answer your question?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
And then I just I wanted to know, sometimes this happens where I get something like physically in my body, and but then it kind of goes away, but then a day or two later I'll like get a phone call from my mom, and like something happened to her back, or when my grandma was like having heart issues, like my heart acted weird for a day, and then like a day or two later I get a phone call like my grandma was having heart. Like I just get these like weird things once in a while. Is it
That's
just me?
physical empathy. Nope, it's physical empathy. There's different styles of empathy. So we can have physical empathy, we can have emotional empathy, we can have like intuitive empathy, and we can have empathy with people in heaven, we can have empathy with animals and empathy with earth. So the thing that you are speaking to is a physical empathy, where your body will translate what that person is going through. So what you want to try, and the way that you know is like, you were fine 20 minutes ago and now all of a sudden you have this weird feeling in your heart, and this feeling lasted 24 hours and then it randomly went away. And if you went to the doctor, they wouldn't even be able to figure out what was going on with you, because it was an empathy through the physical body. So when you get empathy through the physical body and you recognize like, that's not mine, kind of just gauge, okay, this is what I'm feeling, this is the day I'm feeling it, this is the time I'm feeling it, and then let it go, because it'll go. If it's not yours, it's going to go away. The next thing that I do when I get physical empathy is I ask, show me who this is, like, who is this, and even my kids, like, they'll be like, is this person, is it this person, is it this person, is it this person, and I'm like, no, it doesn't feel like that person, doesn't feel like that person. And then when I find the person it is, it'll lift right off of me and the feeling will go away within like 10 seconds. So sometimes when you hit it, if you're guessing and you want to try to figure out where is that empathy coming from, you can even ask people. And what I like to explain to empathy community is you have a list of regulars. And the regulars is who you're going to feel more often than not, right? So you'll feel, I have my regulars, my kids, my husband, a couple of my friends, like a couple people in heaven, they're my regulars. So I know how they feel to me. I've gone through a whole period of years where I've determined and tested and theorized what belongs to who and how do I discover that, which is I do offer the empathy workshop on my website if you want to sign up for that. But wait, because I'm going to do a raffle for it, for like a half price raffle thing. So I'm going to try to do that this month or next month. So that could be helpful for you. But basically, now that you have had this feeling in your heart, you remember that feeling, right? You remember the feeling in your back. You found out a couple days later that that feeling was because your mom hurt her back. You found out that that hurt thing is because your grandma did that, right? Now that's your calling card. Next time you feel that same back feeling, call your mom on the phone, and I guarantee she's going to say, "That's weird. I was just thinking about you. I was going to call you," because you kind of have that energy connection. That you have to test it though to see, like, if you get that back pain, is it your mom again? Because your back pain isn't going to hurt like the back pain hurt that day. That day, that was your mother's back pain, not your back pain. Nothing happened to you to make you feel that way. So your back pain is going to be different than your mom's back pain. So the next time you get back pain, is it the same exact way you felt that day? If it is, give your mom a call, because now you're connecting with her through a physical empathy. And she may have other tells to you, to your spirit, like your spirit now will recognize her physically with the back. It doesn't mean she's going to have a back problem every time you feel it, though. Now it's just her calling card, basically. So that's kind of how that works, and that's what you experience with them. Then I just got to test it and see if it's true.
Okay, I can see that being true with my mom. I just have one quick last question.
Sure.
Who turns on my nightlight in my bathroom at night?
I'm asking. Hold on. Do you know that this feels like a child? Did you ever lose a child due to miscarriage, abortion, or death?
I haven't, but I don't know if it's also some like a person attached to the house I'm in.
Do you know if the person you are in the house you're in, if they have a child that went to heaven?
I don't know the history of the house very much, but I've heard stories about from the people like who used to live here of things that would happen to them, and then a few things have happened to me, my son, and my mom.
And they're
then
all innocent things, right? They're
it's all
not.
in my kids' room. It's all in my kids' room and the bathroom.
Well, there's a little. Yeah, when I asked the question, I got a vision of a little kid flipping on the light and turning on the light because they don't like it to be dark. So you might even have lights happening in other areas of the house if it's dark. So it's a child that's doing it, and I have no harm from this child. Like, they're in the light, they're good. I thought it was your child. They love you. So, but if you've heard stories about other things that have happened, yeah, it's just the ghosts that are in the house, which is fine. I lived in this house with like the people that lived here, their in-laws lived here for like 2 years when we moved in. And then I called them and it was like, you got to come pick up your parents, like let them know it's okay, like they can go to your house, they don't have to stay in this house, you know. But yeah, it is. And if you did maybe some background checking on the house or see who lived there and research those people, because it's a child that's lost, you know, not lost, but in heaven. And that's the one turning on the lights and doing all the mischievous things, but none of it feels bad. It's not a haunting. It's not demonic. It's beautiful.
I'm not, when it first happened, I was a little startled, but now I just kind of look up and I'm like, what are you trying to tell me? Like, I'm kind of trying to like know if they're trying to tell me something or not. But now I just kind of, it like doesn't even like phase me in like a scared way or anything, I guess.
Yeah, to me, it looks like a 6 or 7-year-old little boy that runs around the house.
Okay. Because I have 8 and 9-year-old boys. So I don't know if they're.
Could be their
like,
spirits too.
Okay.
But I don't think it is. I think it's the little boy that lives there that makes number 3. So you could call him, like, he likes the name Victor, and I think his name is Victor, but I think people called him Vicky, and it bothered him because that's a girl's name, and he wanted to be, he's a boy, so he didn't want people to call him Vicky, but his name is like Victor or something like that was his name. So you could even do a search on Victor.
Okay.
Like with those families that have lived there or on that land. So,
Okay.
okay. Does anybody have any last questions for me today? I know we went over. I might have to like make our numbers lower so I make sure I fit into that 90 minutes. But it was so nice to connect with everybody. And oh, are you going on vacation, Christina? Are you going
Me?
on vacation to a warm place? Because your dad is packing suitcases and he's like, great, because now we're gonna get going. Not obviously today, but are you planning a tropical vacation? And is that coming in the next like 4 or 5 months? I'm not really over like, I guess I would take it out 6 months because I'm not gonna count October. So are you planning a vacation?
I mean, my brother mentioned
Like, are you
actually
going
just
to Florida or something?
I've been trying to get there to visit my friend.
Oh, because your dad is like, he's like, let's go, we can go, we have time, let's go. So he's trying to encourage some kind of trip. And then it's tropical in my vision. And I'm like, okay, maybe be more specific. So this way I know what, are we Mexico tropical, Jamaica tropical, Florida tropical? And then he showed me Florida tropical.
Well, the one of the tattoos I got was a palm tree.
Oh, he's showing me all of that. Oh, he did find a way. I told him, I was like, you could be creative if you want to be creative, but now you can tell me that. So I opened it for him, but if that's
Mhm.
the thing, then I'm taking it because he keeps showing me Florida, the beach, the palm trees, the
Mhm.
sunshine, the horizon, the whole 9 yards. So
Does
awesome.
he recognize the trip that we went on last year?
For him, he wasn't here, right? He was in heaven.
No, but like, was he there with us?
Oh,
And
yes,
why?
but he wasn't here physically, is what he's saying. So I asked him, tell me about the trip last year. He's like, well, I wasn't there. Like he wasn't physically on this earth. I don't know
Right.
when your dad passed, but what
Um,
he's saying is he wasn't physically at the trip last year, but he was there. And
okay.
then he goes, is your dad cremated? Did you put his ashes in that trip?
No. Mm-mm.
Is he cremated?
No, he's buried. He
Okay.
died in June of 2021, and we took a trip last November 3rd for their 50th wedding anniversary.
Oh, that's the blowing the kisses. Okay.
Yeah, and I actually had like purses made out of his swimwear.
Okay.
So the guys got wallets and we got the purses. So
Okay.
it was supposed to be celebrated with him. So we went in honor of their 50th.
Oh, could you just give your mom all kinds of love? I don't see her on here. I think she dropped off, but
Oh,
just
did you?
tell her. Yeah, I don't see her. But
And
could you tell her that he did go and he just keeps going like the blowing
yeah, we
blowing
made it
kisses
big. We
across.
made it
So-
big. They decorated her room and did like, a big dinner and
And
like
did someone read vows actually, even though he wasn't there?
no, I think we had some wedding pictures.
Did someone do a specific toast?
Yeah, we did a few toasts
Did
but
your
nothing-
brother go?
Yeah, it was
And did he
all
make a toast?
it was all the kids and the grandkids and my mom.
Did your brother
And-
make a toast?
I think we all kind of said something, but
Okay,
maybe
yeah,
not.
he keeps showing me visions of it. Yes, he was present and there. And he thanks you guys for that. But he is still trying to encourage you to go see your friend.
Okay, I will. And I do have one other question. I know
Sure.
we got to go. That I forgot about before. Does he? We had a big traumatic thing happened with like a little over a year after he died. That happened to his house. So I was just wondering what he thinks of that, and if he's just what he thought of it, I guess. And if he's
I think
happy.
I would need more information to get anything from him as far as vision and specificity. However, he says he doesn't need it.
He doesn't need.
He doesn't need the house. He doesn't need anything that you think was harmed or damaged. or
So
traumatic.
his domain was the backyard. We had a 3 Seasons room and a garage, and like everything was done in his hands, and we had a fire.
Yeah, he
and-
doesn't need any of that. He has everything that he loves here. He has there. He's okay with that. He doesn't.
It
he
was
doesn't.
it was
need
like it was just all his stuff and his work, and it was really traumatic, and we're still in the process of rebuilding it and everything, and he would have loved the new garage and the new stuff. It was just, yeah, it was hard.
I'm so sorry that happened.
So
But-
yeah, it was,
But he's not in devastation. Like everything that meant anything or means anything, he has.
does he
has
think
all of that.
does he think my mom should sell the house?
Not yet.
Really?
Not yet. Not yet. It's like probably another year to 3 years before she sells.
Okay.
All right. All right. Thank you everybody for participating.
Thank you, Nikki.
Thank you.
Gosh, Tim, I
Yeah,
have one more
thank you.
question for you. Do you have family in Wisconsin?
Yes, I do.
Are you going there for the holidays? Because Amy is just like, well, if we're talking about vacations, I think he should go to Wisconsin. But I don't know if it's like just for a visit or if you're going for the holiday. But she is talking about going to Wisconsin. That would be like a nice getaway for you to go there, not them to come here. I have no idea what she's talking about. Do you know what she's talking about?
I was there. My sister and brother, they live up by the Dells area, right across
Oh.
the highway from each other. And I was there maybe a month ago. It was kind of a big deal. It was like my first time, going without anybody else.
Okay. Yeah, I think she went with you. But she is saying like she's kind of encouraging that, and I'm hesitant. She's like, well, since we're talking about like vacations and stuff, he should go to Wisconsin for the holiday. So, and I think it's pretty much we're talking about this coming Thanksgiving, but she is talking about that, and congratulations. She's so proud of you, but she loves you very much. And I'm gonna try to say goodbye again to you folks. Thanks everybody
All right.
for
Thank you, Nikki.
connecting today and for joining, and I hope to see you all again in the future. I just also want to say that this is a public event, so some or all of tonight will be posted on social media. I do not have to do that though. If you prefer your time that we connected to be private and would rather me not post that, I can slice you out of of whatever I post. So please let me know in the next couple days if you don't want your personal time to be online, and I will make sure not to do that. I want to make sure I respect everybody's privacy and feeling. Okay. All right,
Thanks,
folks.
Nikki.
Thank you so
If-
much. Mhm.
If
Thank
I
you.
have some questions for you, can I email you, or where should I contact you?
For
For setting something up.
on my website, you can schedule any session on the website will you schedule this on the website, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so just there
Okay.
would be fine to do that. If you can't, and I do try to let everybody know this, if you go online and you can't find a date or a time that works for you, then text me and then we can be creative and kind of work around schedules and see what happens and what works best for you. I can
Okay.
always
I
do
think
that
you're
too.
still on my phone, so.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
All right.
All right, bye. Have a
Thank
good
you.
night.
Thank
You
you.
too.
Bye.
Bye.